Oh, hey. Hi. Thanks for watching these videos. Please remember to click subscribe, like, share them with your colleagues, and then click show more below each video. Lots of lesson plans and ideas, inquiry questions, perfect for your classroom.
So let's talk about the history of astronomy. Where did our knowledge and understanding of the universe come from? Now, obviously in North America, we're a little bit Eurocentric, which is maybe a bad thing. Many cultures around the world studied the heavens. The Chinese did, the Indian people did, the First Nations people did. But what we find in our part of the world is we tend to look at what the Greeks did. There's nothing wrong with that. A lot of the great discoveries came out of that culture. So that's the focus I'll be coming from. If you go back 500 years BC, you come to an era where there was a teacher named Pythagoras. Now, normally Pythagoras is known as the right-angle triangle guy. Okay, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. But he was far more than that. And one of the things he liked to investigate were the heavens. What were the stars? Were they distant campfires of civilizations roaming throughout the universe? Were they evidence of heavenly light shining through a black backdrop? What exactly are they? And to compound the issue, there were 5 star-like features, but they moved through the constellations. What were they? The word for wandering star is planetos in the Greek's language. Well, that's where we get the word planet. So they described them early on, but they thought that they really were wandering stars. They had no idea that they were planets in an orbit around the sun. There was a strong belief at the time that the Earth was the center of the universe. It was stationary and immovable, and the heavens rotated around Earth. But wait a minute, I wouldn't be too hard on them for thinking that. I mean, why wouldn't you think that? I know where I live, in the morning, the sun's over there. By noon, the sun's up here, and in the evening, the sun is over there. The sun seemingly has moved across my sky while I stood still. And to make matters worse, if you will, once the sun sets, I start to see the moon rise, and I start to see the stars rise. And if I watch them all night long, they also move across my sky, and they set in the west. Why would I think any differently if I was in those days as well? The Earth is immovable, the heavens orbit. But what were the 5 wandering stars? And so he challenged his followers, and it became known as the Pythagorean Paradigm. Find out what those are, explain their motions. But you have to follow certain rules. One of the rules is the Earth has to remain in the center of the universe. The Earth is immovable. All motion in the heavens is uniform. There's no changes in the velocity, the motion. They move constantly in the same direction with the same speed. The heavenly bodies were perfect crystal spheres without blemish. And with those things in mind, explain to me what the planetos were, the wandering stars. And also predict their position. Because since they move through the constellations in this erratic way, sometimes moving west to east and sometimes moving east to west, explain their motions and be able to predict their positions at any point in the future. There's your challenge to the Pythagoreans, the Pythagorean paradigm. And from there came the discoveries of the universe.